Hey, how's it going? Um,
It's going
just,
all right.
Just real quick, just coming through the neighborhood. Are you guys doing the caulks right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Just a couple things. Has anybody come by and talked to you at all?
Nope. What's happening?
So you don't know why I'm here?
Nope.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, just real quick, there's going to be some technicians coming through the area. And are you doing the bundle? Do you have like the phone, the internet?
Yep.
Okay. And with your bundle right now, are you on the promotion or the regular price? Do you know?
I don't know. My wife pays the bills. I know it's high though.
Okay. So you're on the regular price, probably like 150, 180, somewhere in there.
That sounds
Gotcha.
pretty close.
Okay. On the TV, did we get you a box? Do you have a box on the TV?
Yeah. We got in the living room we do.
The living room does, and is it a DVR? Can you pause and record?
No, it's got the guide and stuff, but it's not.
So is it the Motorola? Is it like the 420 Motorola?
I don't know.
Can I look at it really quick? Is that okay?
No, it's all right. I mean, what do you need to look at it for?
Well, because here's the thing. I'm coming through, while we have some technicians coming through, a lot of people's equipment is way outdated. Like, you don't even have a DVR, which is just like a basic thing that you should have. It's just not automatic for TV customers, especially with your bill being high. It's not necessarily that the price is too expensive as much as like, if you're going to pay $180, I want to make sure we're getting you $180 worth of value. And I'm in the area, so it's really easy for me to do, okay? So what I'm thinking is, if you have a Motorola box, which I think you probably do, because that's usually the standard box that most people get, you're probably running like the 420. I want to come and look and just make sure before I start talking to you about what your options are. You know, in the back, is it running through component? Is it AV, or is it just going to be like the coax? Do you know what it's running in?
I don't know. I mean, the guy set it up when he came out.
Can I look?
so I'm
I
not
promise you it'll make a lot more sense if I look at it than if I keep asking you a bunch of questions.
sure. Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Just real quick, I guess. Come check it out. All right, Mr. Brandon Boudreau, that was a pretty dang good cable door approach there. So, right off the bat, well, I noticed you, when I answered the door, you again weren't facing me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I guess you kind of broke down why you do that on the last video. But how did you right off the bat, you're like, are you doing the Cox? Or you're doing the Cox, right? How did you know that I had Cox cable?
When I walk up to a house, I actually walk past the house. I do it quickly because you don't want to waste your time, obviously. But I walk past, kind of get all the angles of the house that I can possibly see. If there's no satellite, I'm opening with my Cox pitch. If it's whatever the cable company is in the town that I'm in, I'm opening with the pitch of the cable company.
Okay.
The great thing, the reason I like wearing this Now Communications shirt is because they don't know who Now Communications is, and for all they know, it could be anything, and so it gives me freedom, and I just exercise that freedom in the beginning of my pitch, establish myself as an expert on their TV product, and if they want to think that I work for Cox, that's even better because it'll get me inside quicker.
Okay.
So that's my motivation behind it.
Why did you say you guys have Cox, right, instead of, or do you guys have Cox?
Because it made it sound like I knew. So then they're not going to question whether I work for Cox or not. They'll never even ask me that question. They'll just assume I do, even though I don't.
Gotcha.
Right?
And
Like,
you got
don't-
me to say yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the psychology of getting a customer to say yes right off the bat?
Well, I think a lot of other guys have covered it, but the whole idea is the more yeses you get, the more they're on your team.
Okay.
So,
Cool. So you get me to say yes right off the bat, establish that you're a professional, and then
and then you got to get your hook in. So did you see how?
break down the hook then.
Well, so let me explain something. And I think and if you're rewatching this, you'll really get this. When a rep goes out and he sells a Dish Network customer, most of the guys are always more comfortable with that because they've seen everybody else do it really well, and it's kind of an easier sell because it's similar to DirecTV. You know, they're both a satellite. So guys get really good at that, and it becomes easy for them. But a lot of guys get really fearful of the cable customer, and really all you have to do to get over that fear is get a good hook, not a hick. And so on my hook, what you'll notice, what I did was I asked you 2 questions in a row that were just completely rhetorical and meant nothing, right? Has anybody come by and talked to you? You gave me a, well, no. And then I really got into, I got in that second question, right? Like I really got you interested, and I said, so you don't know why I'm here,
right? I noticed you even paused a little bit.
And I shook my head, and I really like played it out for you to get some emotion flowing, because then what it did is it took you out of alpha mode, put you in beta mode. You started really, okay, now we're interacting. Now I'm actually talking to John instead of I'm talking to some person who's just like, you just interrupted my day and I'm still thinking about what's going on back here. You can't do that if I ask you those questions, because immediately your brain's like, fight or flight, what's going on, what's wrong? He's asking me questions that usually mean something's wrong.
So you captured my attention really well at that
Yeah,
point.
and then all I did was ask more questions that I would have asked anyways, but I've got your attention, so now I'm really going to get you interested, and then I'm going to get inside your house.
So you asked to come in and see the box, and I was like, no, it's good. I'm busy. I don't want that. What was going through your mind at that point? Because I know sometimes that'll happen to the newer reps. It does every day.
Yeah, and it happens to me still sometimes. I just write it off as he's not confident that I'm an expert yet, so let me establish some more expert reasons and then get back inside the house. So I established some more stuff, right? I went over why I was wanting to go in, because it's easier to look at it than to keep asking you questions. And then I asked him another question to show him he didn't know the answer, and then I went inside.
Gotcha.
Right? Because he was like, well, I guess I should just listen to him. He seems to know what he's talking about, and I don't know what that means. And 99% of your customers are going to be in that position where they don't know, and probably most of the reps watching don't know the difference. And if you don't, you want to learn it. Coax, AV, component, and HDMI, right? Very easy, but when you know the difference between all those and you can ask someone and then go back and look at their box and tell them, then you become an expert. Then whatever you have to say is worth their time.
Gotcha. I like that. Well, I got to commend you on that, because I feel like that one little thing, and new reps, go back and watch that, because the difference of getting shut down on your first attempt to go in and you just walk away with your shoulders slumped and your head down, to the next house feeling a little bit down, or
well, I think
you can do that, or you can fight to get in. And I promise, if you give that secondary fight to get in, just like Brandon did at that approach, like, you're going to start making double, triple the amount of money that you're making right now, because the key is getting into that house.
And what happens, what I wanted to say is, when they don't get in, then they try to pitch on the doorstep. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to pitch on the doorstep. I mean, unless you're Paul Little and you're so confident that you're just going to get it no matter what, like, you're going to lose your deal. And it's not because that wasn't a qualified customer and you shouldn't have sold them. It's because you didn't get to the right place, right? You got them, but you couldn't get them as interested as you could have in their house if you would have played it out more, asked more questions. And so it's super hard to do on the doorstep, and you're going to end up throwing up a lot more than you want to, right? Instead of showing up and explaining, you're going to end up throwing up. And so that's why you want to get in that house. That's why you want to ask again. Just give them a little bit more information. Don't give them the whole, like, you don't need to tell them everything about everything. They don't need to know who your mom is. Like, they just need to know that you're an expert so you can get in their house, right?
Perfect. Well, thank you. Any other advice that you'd give to newer reps out there?
Be persistent and go practice. Like, you're not going to be good at it if you just try to do it just on the door. Go practice at home and, like, look at yourself in the mirror when you're doing it. Make sure you would believe what you're saying and that you would want to talk to you.
Or even potentially with other reps in the office, or the apartment that you live with. Yeah, for sure. Practice, and practice perfectly too, because it does no good to just do a half-hearted door approach and not do the right body language, the right tone of voice, the right questions.
What'll happen is you'll get the same result on the door. So you practice
so
the way you play.
So yeah, in the mirror, you got to be honest with yourself. And if you're working with another rep, like, don't just be nice to them. Like, pretend like you're an actual customer and just say, yeah, there's no way I'd buy from you because of this, this, and this. Be completely upfront with each other, and then